You're very welcome back to the show now. Valentine's Day is all about love, but it's not just for those who are coupled up. Today on the show, we decided to look after all of you singletons out there. We are joined now by Jennifer Haskins from Two's Company Dating Agency with some top advice for anyone out there looking for love. You're very welcome to the show, Jennifer. Now, we'd booked you specifically so you could talk to Paul, but he's still in a relationship. So, you know, just in case anything happens, we can give...
just in case.
I'm a safety net.
Exactly.
The most important introduction.
Tell us about Two's Company and what exactly it is, because in these days of Tinder and Grindr and Bumble and all these sort of stuff, it's a more one-to-one kind of dating agency.
It's more based on old-fashioned matchmaking, but it's 21st century matchmaking.
Yes.
So I meet everybody face to face. So the whole idea is to try and get a sense of who you are, what you're looking for, and a little bit about you and your background and what were relationships like for you in the past, and what went wrong or what went right, or what are your goals and aspirations for the future.
Is that a big issue, relationships in the past? Do you kind of have to do a post-mortem on them to avoid you falling into the same pitfalls again? Because we see it time and time again, everyone, me included, you go for the same type over and over again, the same patterns happen over and over again, and then you're back to square one, crying with a bottle of Chardonnay on a Saturday night eating pizza.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, it's like, as I heard it expressed recently, and I thought it was brilliant, it's like your inner GPS is set for the same destination or the same guy.
Yeah.
So you attract in the same person each time.
Yeah.
But if we deal with maybe our issues or, you know, our blockages, well, then it's much easier to move forward and attract in somebody that's coming from a completely new vibration.
Yeah.
And that's what an awful lot of people feel, that it's a real hitch for them, that it's like, well, why? Why did I attract the same person again and again and again? And I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
So I think it is about dealing with those kind of things first and finding out, well, what can I change? What can I reset in myself that's going to attract in a different person?
Yeah, and when you do find a person that you think would be really suitable for somebody else, but they don't see it or on paper it doesn't work for them, how do you go about talking them around, per se, if you can see, my God, I really think these people would work?
Oh, sometimes I've had to twist arms.
Yeah.
And it's great when it works. And if I say to them, look, I would really like you to meet this person. Because sometimes there's resistance there. And you kind of go, well, why are they resisting meeting somebody when that's what they're looking for? And my instinct is very clear that they would get on really well. But I suppose the factor that makes all the difference is the chemistry. So when you meet somebody, on paper, they can be perfect for you. And even when you meet them, you can connect really well with them and get on really well. But if there's no chemistry there...
If there's no spark there...
If there's no spark...
Should you bother with a second date?
I would say... I would actually encourage people to go on a second date if they like one another, if they're comfortable with one another. Because when you connect with somebody and you like them, that can grow. But I think for men, the chemistry being there on the first date is more important even than for women. I think women are more forgiving. They'll maybe say, OK, he's a nice guy. I'll give him a second chance. We'll meet a second time, see how this develops. But I think men, if the visual aspect isn't there from the first date, it's unlikely for them.
Really, they'll just cut their losses and run. Yeah,
well, men are very visual. They're more visual than women. And so, therefore, women are kind of looking for more the hunter-gatherer, the man who's going to be a good, maybe if they want children, maybe a guy who's going to be a good provider or a good father.
But that happens with an awful lot of people I know in and around the age of 30 and a significant birthday. They'll write a shopping list. I haven't found anyone in any other dating agency or Tinder or anything else. I haven't found anyone in the local pub or the local walking club or whatever else they do. And they literally want husband, baby, daddy, and anything else is a bonus. Do you find sometimes the biological clock comes hammering in your door with some people?
Yeah, it does. And it's, as you say, it's generally in the 30s. And it's like a list, it's like a checklist. They have criteria. Well, I want this and I want this and I want this. But that's nature kicking in, because when a woman is thinking of having children, she wants a man, as I say, that's going to be a good provider, that's going to be a good support, that's going to be there for her. Maybe that he has good prospects for the future. So they may be looking at this match through those perspectives, where for a man it also may be, OK, I want a woman who is healthy and looks fit so that she can have children. So an awful lot of what we're looking through are you know, primal things that really make the difference at the end of the day.
When you do come to the first date experience, though, what are the big mistakes people are actually making? I mean, there's that whole thing, oh, don't sleep with anyone on the first date or it'll never... See, or it'll never amount to anything. And is that, by generally speaking, true, or is that a mistake people make, or is that something you should avoid? Or talk us through there.
Well, again, I certainly would advise girls to not sleep on the first date.
Or even fellas.
Or even fellas. I just think that get to know the person first. And I do feel that guys, now again, I'm speaking for guys here, I do feel that guys, they want to court a woman. They want to win her over. They like the challenge. Men very much like a challenge. And if a woman is, I suppose, too available for a man, then there's no challenge in that, and he feels like, well, if she's so available to me, she's also available to others.
That sounds like awful game playing, though. Are we still that kind of game playing messing going around? Because you'd like to think they were a bit more evolved than that, but it does just come down to the kind of primal.
A lot of the time it does, but I think also what it tells a guy is that the woman has a very good self-value, that she's feeling like, OK, I would like you to get to know me. Because when sex in itself is just an act. But if you want a sustainable relationship, you want something that's going to last, well, then you're going to want something that's just more than just the physical. And then when you do have sex with that person, you've a connection with them. You like the way they think. You like the way their worldview. You like the way they operate and the way they interact with other people.
There's different rules if you're going along the route of wanting a serious relationship, I guess. Yeah.
That's the difference.
Now, when it comes, and we argue about this on the show with the male and female panels all the time, when it comes to paying a bill, let's say you're on a first date, you go out for dinner. Now, I would say everyone would offer to pay 50-50 if they insist, let them, or whatever. But if I had no interest in going on a second date, I would not let the other person pay. That is probably the way to go. Or what's the correct etiquette around these sort of scenarios when it comes to if you're actually being matched by your agency, for example?
What would I advise?
Yeah.
I usually advise the guys to offer to pay because I think it's nice for a guy to do that. And at the same time, I do say to the girls, look, also offer to go Dutch, as they say, to kind of offer to pay half. But I think for a woman, if a man doesn't offer to pay or make that gesture, a woman is immediately thinking, is he mean? You know, and that's a big no-no for a woman to think that a guy is not kind.
That is the biggest one, isn't it? And it's not about the money. It's just,
not.
If you're financially stingy, you'll be emotionally stingy. I think that's what people think.
And like the woman might reciprocate the following week and say, well, look, you know, I'll pay this time, or I'll get tickets for something, so that she's also reciprocating. But I think it's just that gesture means an awful lot to women. That the guy is generous and he's making a gesture, letting her know.
I'd agree with. I think that the man should pay on the first date, I think, anyway. But I think that it's nice if the woman does actually offer. You know, if she offers, then you'd be like, oh, listen, that's okay, but I'll still insist on paying.
But she's not just taking it for granted.
Exactly, I think the offer is nice.
Paul, in your case, like, who paid on your first date? There's two guys. It's whoever asks out, or what way does it work?
I think, if I ask somebody out, if I was dating again, if I asked somebody out and I organised the date and said, we're going to go here, here and here, then I would pay. And then you'd kind of expect them to pay on the kind of second date. But if it was kind of just a mutual, oh, yeah, we'll go there, I think you'd like for the two of them to kind of just go, oh, look, we'll go halves or halves. Yeah, grand, perfect. And even for the first few dates with my new partner, we went halves
and everything.
Yeah, we went halves, and, like, not the first date, I paid for that because I asked him.
Yeah.
But after that, then
but that's what I mean, the first date. Like, so you asked him out, so you...
Yeah, and I wouldn't expect him to pay because I asked him to join me on a date.
Yeah.
And that's my kind of rule of it.
Yeah, it was your gesture.
Yeah, it was my gesture, so I decided to pay for it.
Yeah, I think that's important. Yeah.
Funny how something so simple gets all this debate going, isn't it? Like something simple as paying the bill.
But what are the rules anymore?
Yeah, well, I suppose there aren't any. Yeah,
they're not defined.
I would say,
you know,
delighted you came out with me. I'd like it if you let me pay. And if she said yes, great. If not, well, sure, you can't have an argument over it.
But a mistake a lot of people would make as well if you're very nervous about going back into the dating game or nervous on first dates. Anyway, I've actually never had a first date in a restaurant or anything, not in my whole life. I've never been formally asked out that way. I would die 1,000 tortured deaths. I'd be absolutely mortified. But look, what you do, and of course the default is sure I'll have a drink or two to steady the nerves, and that's the worst thing you can do apparently.
Can I say,
that's number one on the list. Jennifer reveals her 14 key tips to a successful date, and that is don't blow it by drinking too much or talking too much.
Absolutely, yeah.
I have a no first, second, third drink date rule. I will not drink on the first, second or third date, because in my youth, I often went on a first date and ended up having too many pints, and then you kind of make a mistake or two, or you might make a show of yourself, or you might blow it or whatever. But so you kind. So I just said, from then on in, I decided no drinking on the first date, or second or third. And you know, if they're willing to kind of go along with that, then even better. Happy days.
Actually, no, I tell a lie. I did, well, kind of a date, my first official date with my current fella, and I was like, oh yes, I'm on a real health buzz at the moment, blah, 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 blah. Brought me to this vegetarian restaurant, really healthy place, and and he wasn't even drinking, because I said, oh, I'm not drinking either, and I was like, oh God, how am I going to get through this? This is terrible. Oh, they have organic wine. Well, I'm sure that will be okay. Don't you lie about how healthy you are, and then you're stuck with it. Oh God.
Non-alcoholic.
Yeah, I was like, that went down well. And then I made the ultimate mistake of paying while he went to the loo.
I do that.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's nice.
And then
He thought it was like, actually, she's no interest in me now, because
she's paid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's apparently a massive no-no.
Well, for a guy, it can be a bit like you're taking his position there, you know, and you're.
I am the alpha male.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
or
probably
alpha
did
female.
think you'd know interest.
In gay
all
terms,
right,
that's
yeah.
lovely. Like I did that on our first day. He went to the toilet and I paid the bill, and he came back and he was like, "Oh my God, that's so sweet. Look, I'll get the next time." And to hear him say, "Oh, I'll get the next time," that means that there's going to be a next
That's
time.
the next time, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So
you
there's a
kind of-
promise there.
There's a promise there, which you kind of
It's
like
nice
to
at
hear.
the start, as opposed to whose turn is it to buy the kebab tonight and that.
Yeah, well, you don't want it to be that clinical. But what about the healthy? What happened to the healthy eating?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Healthy eating, my eye. But, how important is it, though, for some people to have the introduction service you have? Because a lot of the people, they might be divorced. They might be getting back into the dating game for the first time in 20 or 30 years. And I suppose that's where you come into your own, really.
Absolutely. But whether it's somebody that's single that just is looking for a lifetime partner, and whether it's somebody who's even lost a partner through bereavement, I suppose the good thing is there's a bit of hand-holding goes on. I do give a lot of advice to people on how to go about this, because if you've come into the dating scene after many, many years, you don't know what the rules are, or even if there are rules, or the etiquette, and how do you go about it. So that's where we would step in and help them and say, look, this is what our advice is, and this is how you go about it. And there's a little bit of, I suppose, support and help there. But if somebody comes along, single person, wants to meet somebody, maybe wants to get married and have children, they're looking for something authentic. They're looking for something sustainable. So when they come to an agency, they know that they're more likely to meet somebody who's invested in this, invested their time.
Men are always looking for someone 20 years younger than them, though. There seems to be
that is
historically a problem
point.
with that.
Yes.
They're like, I'm 55. It's time for me to settle down. I'll have that 22-year-old, thank you very much.
Yes.
And they're completely deluded.
Yeah.
How do you, kick them
reality
into shape?
check.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, if I could take age out of it completely and just match people on the basis of them being compatible and of saying, I actually think this could work, because if you take age out of it, people age at different levels. So some people have very good genes and age
Ray's
really
about 22
well.
still in his head.
Yeah, and baby face. And, at the end of the day, if they age really well, well then, some people are very fit, they're very active, and other people lead more sedentary lives. So you try and match them up on the basis of that too, what sort of lifestyle they have. Are they very active? Are they really out there? Have they got a good mindset? A young mindset is really
Do you have people who are just looking for lifetime partners, and not like the kind of the new dating, but just somebody who's looking to settle down with like a partner, and kind of maybe people who are like bereaved or have lost somebody? Do you know this sort of way?
Yeah, so it's not always about marriage. So it's not like, the marriage is the goal. For some people, marriage and kids is the goal, but they're at that stage in life. But for other people, it's like, okay, I actually want somebody that I can see regularly, that we can plan the future, go on holidays together, go on weekends away, go to the cinema. But I don't want somebody that wants to live with me, or I don't want somebody who's going to move in. I just want a life partner.
Do you get people that come, and this is probably bringing it to another thing, do you get people that come in and they say, no, I want to meet someone that I don't want to have sex with at all. I just want to go and have experiences with, go travelling and all that stuff. Do you ever get anyone like that? Or is that literally just...
That's the wrong agency, I'd say.
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, as old as people, like I have people coming into me even like from late 20s to mid-70s, believe it or not. And if somebody's coming into me in the mid-70s, maybe the women may not sort of want a sort of sexually active partnership.
Well,
but I
on
can
Love
guarantee you the
Island-
men do.
On Love Island the other night, there was a question in one of the challenges, and it was like, what percentage of women people over the age of 80 are still engaged in sexual activity? I think it was like 70%.
Yeah.
So maybe it's
Yeah.
not. Well, anyway, on that
70's
note,
the new 50.
I'm going to have to leave. They're after going way over. I'm in loads of trouble. So people want to get in touch with you for your skills. You have a website available as well. It's Choose Company.
ChooseCompany.ie. Yeah.
And we can all put, no, I won't. You're happy now. You get married. I'm not going to say it. I won't jinx it now. Happy Valentine's Day to all now. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll take a quick break here. Catch us back in 3.